Hi guys, so this is all about the demo for C64 Dev machine. I never really released a video on the demo, which I'll do now. So just for you guys that have downloaded it, I've seen there's a lot of downloads for the demo, but yeah, let me just find it for us. So we're going to go to C64 Dev machine and download the demo. So you can see here, you can do a buy now, but if you scroll down to the bottom, you will see download the demo. I hate that this is a way down there. It's nothing I can really control. It's just the way itch works. I can't change the layout, so the demo's up here. What I might do is make a link or something. That might be an idea to take you to, I don't know, somewhere. I can't really link you to that bit of the page. But anyway, I'm going to download the smaller one, which is just a zip folder, which will work quite nicely. And let me just open that up and extract to here. Where's it gone? Extract here. That's just the way the files are arranged in my download folder. It's gone somewhere else. Downloads. C64 Dev machine. Where are you? It's confusing. As soon as I extract to, let's just should have kept the folder right. Anyway, so what you'll get is this, right? And you just want to run the exe, right? And it will do this as usual. Just do run anyway. There's no virus problems or anything like that with it. You can do full screen. Press F11 a couple of times, right? So this is the demo version, the older one. Probably a few bugs lingering and whatnot, but it works, right? What you can do here, you don't have any scroller stuff unfortunately, but you do have sprites. So all the same, you can add a sprite set. You can't edit in Spread 64 but this one, so it's kind of limited to loading a sprite. It will import binary files as well, I think, but Spread 64 is free from my other site. I'll give you a link to that actually. But let's see graphics, what we got. Any sprites in here? No, right. So what I'll do is I'll just fire up Spread 64. You'll be able to get that. In fact, I'll show you where that is. Just do Spread 64 itch. Right, and you'll find it here. That's my older other site, RR Freelance, and it's free. You know, you can just download it. No thanks, take me to the downloads and download that. There's a little demo file comes with it. In fact, let me just download that. That's quite handy. Let's go to there and load downloads. That one. And there you go. So it's a little sprite guy, and in fact that should open, that same file should open from here. So we're going to go edit, load file, downloads. There we go. The difference with this, and it's not supported yet, is the expansion of sprites, right? I'm going to try this actually. So I don't know if I've got it built in yet, but let's see if I can set a variable. Let's see if there's hardware for Y expand, double Y, there we go, right. On which sprite, I think you do it, so it'll be sprite 1, right. So I'm going to choose that one, and yeah, and then we're going to try and show this sprite essentially. I was putting an RTS in. Oh, these shortcuts don't exist in this one either. So an RTS will just make sure it doesn't crash. we should have that shown right away. If it doesn't, there we go. So that shows right away, that's good. I want to overwrite the, and the other things are, the controls are different. It's right mouse button to move around, but right also, it doesn't destroy nodes, you have to drag them out. It's a different different process there. So yeah, I was putting that RTS in there. Right, so what you want to do, if I want to layer this sprite up the way it is draw it like that. Now I want to change the background color here. There's a hack you can do here. Turn off proxy, set this to 080, that's E080F. So it's like the next thing. It's telling me it's overlapping that. It actually works in this version. But even though there's no instruction in there yet, it detects that this is going to overwrite it. But I just want to load different color in. So I'm just going to put in LDA, which is just, I'm overwriting just this one line with this being injected into it, right? I'm injecting it with a different color. So I'll do blue, I think is 6. I always forget my colors, right? That is going to compile. This is then overwrite that one bit, right? You see it's flashing correctly. There you go. So I made that blue. It's just so I can see the black, which I'm going to do. So now I'm going to do another sprite, and I think it's Alt and drag in this version. Yeah, Alt and drag to insert. See my muscle memory with the controls because I changed everything. Right, and then I just need to then choose the top sprite, which I guess, yeah, is that 1, 0. I'm going to change the slot of this to 2 because I want the 2 other sprites to be in front of it. The smaller the slot number, the more in front it will be. So I'll do that one. Oops, and I'll drag there. Apologies if you're coming from the demo version to the paid version. Controls have changed, which is going to be a little bit of a, what the hell, why is nothing working? I apologize for that, just things got refactored, and I think what I'll more likely to do is just upgrade the demo version once I've done more in the paid version, so that there's a kind of like nice disparity and you still get more stuff. So there will be an upgrade to the demo. I don't want to just lock it into this one, it's not very nice. And then just find the legs again, change that to the slot 1 now, and that should just work, right? That should all be fine. So yeah, I expanded the wrong sprite, so I'm expanding the wrong one. So that's sprite, so 0, 1, 2, 4. If you count the binary, it's the value of 4. It's the sprite. It's always confusing when things start at 0 or they start at 1, right? But with binary, slot 0 is the value 1, slot 1 is the value 2, slot 3 is the value 4, slot 4 is the value 8. And they double up, right? I'll put all this into documentation as well, right? Now the only problem now is the legs are in the same position as the body, so I need to add 21 to this. That's the height of this sprite, so that's 149. Something's a bit off. Something's a wee bit off. I wonder if that is the right sprite for that one. Okay. So I just chose 9. Let's see, what have I got? What one was I trying to do? Like this one. Then that's ID 16 for the base instead of 9. So have I got that set to 9? Let's do 16 then. Right. There we go. Right, so that's how that should look. What else I've got here? We can print stuff to screen. This won't work because the sprite sets up the VIC to go somewhere else. So even if you did this, it would flash and completely, you wouldn't see it. Yeah, it went away very quickly. So that you won't see unless you put this into like a joystick thing. So I could put that there, put a loop in. So we press A and do label, press A twice by accident there, so end up with two of them. And a loop, which is a jump. We don't have a shortcut for that. And here, jump to target, right? That's our loop. And then what we could do is put all of this on fire. Let's just do another org block, detecting what's come from here. Right, that's our loop. Sprite, double it, show it. We don't need the RTS anymore because this is our loop. This is only going to get called once when we press fire. We need an address label for to come over here. Control backspace, fire, and then we want to go back to target. So I'll just alt drag in this case with the demo back to target, back to the loop. So it's basically going to do a fire. It's going to turn fallback off. We don't need it, and then that'll do that. So we should see this now. And if we press fire, then we get our thing there. So that all works, right? So you can say something different, like, you know, welcome to my game, right? And if you want to do another one, just in the demo, alt drag, right, and change the turn off clear, because we already clear it. We clear it initially. Press fire to begin. Right, just change the location. You'll see that this is to 2015. So you put in here 2016, I think. 21 bytes. Yeah. Okay. So you press fire. You can still type in stuff. No, you can't. Ah well. I thought you could still type. There's no point seeing the cursor, so you can actually like disable the cursor. So just do C64 disable flashing cursor, disable cursor blink, and then you'll find things like this, which is really handy. What? Disable flashing. I want a cursor, don't want a flash. That's not what we want. So disable cursor blink. Cursor 6502. You can find it here. Turn a cursor off. Activate cursor 00 to CC. Yes, CC. How do we disable it? That's the position. Plot position of the cursor. Says Y. Counter out. Ah, I guess it's LDA01 to CC then. It's a 0 page thing. So to do that, we'll do it here. So we'll just get an LDA. I mean, we could just ink CC. I could try that. I'll just try inking CC. So I'll just do an ink CP. Whatever it is. Ink CP. Here. Let's do CC. It should in theory turn it from 0 to 1 then. 1 off. There you go. And then so then you can just do press fire. Oh, I disabled my joysticks. And there you go. Now, let's say you wanted music to play. Then you can do, oops, add an asset. Said music. Let's see what I've got. What have I got? What have I got? In downloads. Moved it all. Committee track. Little committee track I'm still working on. So that's going to load into 1000 now. Just be mindful of overlaps. I think that's fine there. These are still flashing because it's, you know, an overwrite. Whatever's. I do want to fix that on the current version because it works correctly here. I made it less sensitive and it's broke it. So I also have it as an option if you don't want to see the flashing. So that's the sound loaded as an asset but not played yet. So what might be cool is to have it play when we do fire. This is risky. I'm gonna throw that in there. Look, you see some things moved because what happens is when you make this, when you spawn this, it actually spawns. See, there's like it's in there, it's in behind it. It spawns a label, and now it's got a bit lost. Something is off. Something's off. Something behind this node here. Right, where's it going? It's supposed to be like it spawns a label. There we go. It's actually there. Right, it's went back to normal. You have to be careful with this tool. It's a wee bit rough around the edges still. You know, I'm still working on things, but it's better in the paid version. Obviously, I've done a lot more work since this. I've even changed a lot of how the insertion works and stuff like that. But anyway, that's now going to play the SID in theory. This might not like being here. I've noticed it needs to be set up first because it does some. Okay, that was fine, but the problem is it never came out of it because it's like an interrupt thing. I'm going to take that out just to see if it helps, which it probably won't. It might crash it. Right, and now it's not doing that thing because what's happened is it's ended up locked up in here. This needs to live up here, the way at the start, basically. Right, that's the only way that will work. So unfortunately your SID is kind of stuck there. So what I recommend doing if you do make music is set the track, make your 0 track be blank and then track 1 be your music. That way you can have silence if you want to, because it always ticks the music no matter what. I don't have something in place to say pause music, continue music or anything like that. That's a different player block, right? I need to edit the player, but the players come with the music, you know, so it depends what you export it from. Like Goat Tracker might give you sound effects or volume support, but otherwise you kind of have to manage the sounds yourself. So even if I change this to track 1, there is no track 1, so we'll just play track 0. Right. So you could have stuck with that the way it is for now, just have your music, but most people do just have their music, right? What about a bitmap, right? We can also throw in a bitmap, I think. Let me just put that in somewhere one off again. I've put it in fire. I think it should be fine here. I don't see any problem with that. Let's just add bitmap. Let's see what I've got. I've got my little arena in here, which I use a lot. And make sure we choose it. So you see that's filled all the way up to where the sprites start, right? And there's plenty of sprite data in there. Right, fingers crossed this just works. Hey. Alright. We could even say when it starts make the background go black, so I'll do a set var because it's a hardware variable, border to 0, right? Super basic, and throw that into there as well, right? It doesn't show the bytes and stuff because it was fairly new at the time. And there you go, it's made the border black. Right, what else have we got? Yeah, there's character sets and map stuff. That's a different kind of thing, because you either use bitmaps with sprites with your music, like this setup, or you'll do like character sets with a map, like a platformer scroller type game. And I've shown plenty of this in other videos, I suppose, maybe just progress and whatnot, but I've not really showed how to set it up. But yeah, in this instance, it's just really important to show you the sprite, music, bitmap working together and how to set that all up. And that's how that all looks there. You still have the box mapping. That's all fine. Still, that's there. You don't have the signed byte, but a signed byte is just a byte, and it just means you can put in negative values and it will work correctly, but it's more like just a visual thing as opposed to a logical thing. But anyway, that's that. Move, yep, we've got our move here actually, so let's try that. Actually, I've not really messed with that, so do another OR block just to continue from there, and I will move this guy under right. Yep, right, we've done right already. Add our label, make sure it's named the same, put in our move. What sprites are we affecting? We go by their Vic slot, so 0, 1 and 2, so 0, 1 and 2, and we'll move it 2 to the right. And remember your V weight, because otherwise it will go too fast. And then we're going to jump back to the code. So I'll drag for demo, and let's go for that. It's gonna, I'll do the 9th bit actually, so he goes all the way around. I'll do a stop at the end, and that's fine there. Fire, move right. Groovy. What's missing here is the animation one, that's in the paid version. But like I said, eventually the demo will get an upgrade, but it will be a couple of months when I feel there's enough disparity between the paid version and the demo, just because I'll just like to keep that kind of separation. I don't want things that are not solidified fully in the demo. So, and obviously, you know, supporting me is important as well, right? So that's moving right, and to move left, I guess I can just do it down here, right? I can do another OR block if I want to keep working left to right, but I'll just carry on down. So I'll alt drag all of these down. Oops, wrong one. To there, and then rename that as left. Change that to -2, and then enable left, and then that should call that right. Should be able to move left and right now, just like the other demo. And then up and down, obviously we can also do up and down. Let's do them. They're fairly easy to do, so up, minus value for up. I'll move up slower than down because of the angle of the camera. It's a bit of foreshortening, or whatever you want to call it, perspective. Pardon me. And then jump after our V weight. And yeah, let's I'm just doing that for tidiness, it doesn't really matter. Right, and then down. Change change that to 1. That'll be down. That'll be up. Oops, if you do it in the right place. It's 1, 0. Unless you want a diagonal style isometric movement, you can. I suppose you can do different numbers there. That's worth a shot actually. I'll do that in a second. We'll do stops at the edges instead of wrapping around the world. I just need to enable up and down. So up, down. Yeah, all good. Oh, that's interesting. So there's a bug I found with moving moving those sprites. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll need to figure that out because that will probably exist in the current version as well. I only just noticed that now, but it's not adding. I don't know what's happened there, but it should be adding to the existing value. It should be inking or decreasing the values because it works left and right. I'll turn off the 9th bit for these. It shouldn't be, definitely shouldn't be doing that in terms of the logic, but that is happening. Okay, so I'm going to work on that bug. Unfortunately, I won't do it in the demo. I'm not going to touch this demo. What I'll do is I'll release an updated demo later. Like I say, this one's just for now, but you're stuck with. Well, either you have to sort of work out how to do it yourself. That's annoying though. That is annoying. It's a shame it does that because it shouldn't be. Works fine left and right, just not up and down. So I've got something wrong with my code somewhere. Yeah, I'll need to look at that. So that should work in theory, but it doesn't. And I was talking about the diagonal movement. If you wanted to do diagonal, like if you pushed right to make them go like upright, you could make it like if you push right, it goes up right, and if you push down, it goes down right. So just by adding a negative value in here, so that'll make them go more up, like a bit more like Last Ninja or something, right? But that also messes up because it's got this Y offset in there, and that's the bug. There's a bug in my code, so I will fix that. But that's really it for this video. Hope it helps you if you're just getting into using this for the first time. I figure there's no point me showing a full-blown, although there is demos of different things, this is a bit more kind of involved. It doesn't have collision detection, doesn't have animation, doesn't have the byte data asset, and the map asset is probably a bit dated now, so I will not get into that this video. I'll do that in another one if I feel that it's important. But really, the demo is just to warm you up and feel things out a bit. You don't need all these variables either. You can get rid of them if you don't. If you don't want them, don't use them. They're just there for a starting point. But that's that. I'll save this without the up and down. Obviously, that's broken. So I'll get rid of. You have to take them out in here. I'll get rid of up and down just because I know they don't work. And I'll save this file as a kind of demo for you guys. And yeah, and that's it. I'll release that shortly. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.